Well, actually, there's a back door right here on the side. So bring it forward. Greetings, everyone. Habari Gunny, how y'all feeling? You doing all right out there? Let me hear it again. Let's go. Let's do it one more time. Let's go. All right. Happy Father's Day to all the Bibles in the building. We appreciate y'all coming out. They're getting the barbecue ready in the back. They got food in the front. We're about to have some music in the front as well. And right now we have the author Jerome Matiyas here to present his book and his puzzle series called Mekonnen Epic. And I just want to tell you a little bit about him real quick. Jerome Matiyas is a graphic visual designer, artist, and writer, born and raised in the festive Caribbean twin island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Jerome has been residing in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, Tri-States, USA, since 1998. From a very young age, he has had a love and passion for art, history, film, and music cultures. And about the Mekonnen Epic, it is a series of stories and illustrations that are set in an alternate historical Earth in the 6th century AD. As a young warrior named Mekonnen from the great Empire of Aksum in the highlands of Ethiopia and Eritrea finds himself in a grand cosmic battle between good and evil, light and darkness. Without further ado, please give it up for Mr. Jerome.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day for the Bibles in the house. And she already kind of broke it down a little bit more. So yeah, I just got this idea for this story when I was a young boy growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, just hearing about Ethiopia, in the media and in the music, the reggae music, and in church, in my pastor preaching talking about Ethiopia mentioned in the Bible, and hearing about Queen of Sheba and all that, and the Rastafarians and everything. So I just got really intrigued and interested, and I wanted to make my own hero, my own comic book, graphic novel series, and I wanted to have like an African character that was positive and not the stereotype that they always showed in TV, in the news, in the movies. It was mostly about either slavery or poverty or famines. So I just wanted to switch it up and show create a hero that was coming from Africa, and I just happened to choose Ethiopia as the place that he comes from. So I have some jigsaw puzzles here, and a comic book, and a illustrated novel that I published in 2019. It was a really interesting and intriguing process. It was an adventure, with the researching and interacting with people from that culture, learning the language and the history, trying to incorporate different styles of art. You have comic book style, there's Japanese anime, there's American animation, there's American comic books, there's Japanese comic books, and there's Ethiopian art. Also, kind of incorporate all of those together to create something hopefully that's unique. I've been getting good feedback from people that read my book. It's available on Amazon, self-published on Amazon, and so far I'm getting some good feedback. I was writing my book, kind of targeting maybe like teenagers up, but surprisingly, I've gotten good feedback from kids as young as 12. For this big old 420-page 12-year-olds, that actually were fans. In fact, I was at a event yesterday, and these girls who were like 14 and 16, they got my book from their parents like 4 years ago, and they were coming up to me saying, "Hey, Mr. Jerome, hey, love your book, you know. Oh, I like when you wrote about this and that, and it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, and you mentioned this from the Bible and this and that from history." And I was like, "Yeah, wow, thank you." You know, I was like really surprised, you know, and yeah. So yeah, I'll be here. So I'm gonna try to pick something to read a little later. And any questions or anything? Or? No? Okay. So yeah, I'll be around. Maybe I'll just pick something to read. They can play some music if they want. You know, in the meantime. Thank you. You like jigsaw puzzles? Yeah. Good with them. You are from one. Should come. It's a lot of pieces. So.
It's 600.
Yeah, yeah. So good luck. Between. Yeah. So. Yeah. So. If you're a genius and you finish it. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. As much as you can.
I found some. But I don't know. Oh, I think I found. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to read an excerpt from my book. It's from Mekonnen, the Warrior of Light, Part 1, Chapter 8. It's called Gihon Village, the Riverman. Gihon is a word that's used a lot in Ethiopia because it's a word from the Bible. It's the name of a river in the book of Genesis. So this what I'm going to read is basically this scenario with it's like a village near the Abai Falls or the River Nile, like where the River Nile begins in Ethiopia, and it just kind of represents different. Don't want to say the word tribes, different people, you know, different families, you know, that live, you know, different languages that you know that are in Ethiopia. It's not just one group of people. It's not just one language. But I mean, they are one people, but there's different languages, you know. But they have the same blood, you know. You know, sometimes there's conflict that goes on in certain parts of the world, including Ethiopia. But I try to show unity and oneness and love in my stories, right? So this part here, it's a little boy named Jonathan and his dog Mamush. He's got the same name. Hey, Mamush, come on, Mamush, let's go. The voice of an energetic young boy called out to his simian wolf pup. Hey, wait for me, Mamush. You're so fast. You're a fast little dog, aren't you? Ha ha, the boy jeered at the pup who ran ahead of him in the grassy moorlands somewhere in the uncharted areas of Habashinia in the far outskirts of the Aksumite Empire. Ruff, 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 ruff. The cute pup replied in as it bounced around through the grassy savannah, spinning around occasionally with his tongue hanging out of his mouth to see if his boy master was still following him. The pup looked like a ball of reddish brown fur with a bushy tail and white highlights around his mouth, under his belly and feet. An animal that was very common in this part of Abyssinia, endemic to the Simian Mountains and environs, living in the wild in packs, hunting mole rats and other creatures for meat, but not usually known to associate themselves with mankind. Yet somehow this boy and his wolf pup have become best of friends. As the boy ran around in the grasslands playing fetch, as the boy, sorry, as the two ran around in the grasslands playing fetch with each other, Mamush the wolf pup darts off towards a nearby river stream, which was part of the famous Abai River. In more ancient times, this river was called the Gihon River, because many of the locals believe this was the very same river mentioned in the Orit Zeledat. That's the book of Genesis, the first of the 5 books written by the prophet Moses. Gihon being one of the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden. Mamush ran off to the banks of Gihon River, and the sight of a tankwa, as a canoe, came caught in some reed bushes near the bank, sparked his attention. He walked up to it with tail wagging speedily from side to side and began to sniff at it and walked around it and looked up and down, then sniffed at it some more. Not that Mamush had never seen a tankwa boat before, but he believed he could smell a person inside this one. He stood up on 2 hind legs to see who and what was inside, but Mamush was a little too to see over the rim, a little too small to see over the rim. Where are you, Mamush? You think you can hide from me? I will find you, the boy declared, pretending to be serious. Ruff, ruff! The pup barked in response, still sniffing and trying to look into the 7-foot-long boat. I can hear you. I can hear you. I will find you. Ruff, 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 ruff. Mamush barked some more rapidly to let the boy master play and find him. The boy reached the bank of the river and saw his pup sniffing and scratching away at the tankwa. Away, Mamush. There you are, boy. Well, what do you have there, my friend? You found a little tankwa. Too little to climb in, aren't you? You're not a big boy like me. The boy was about 7 years old, of medium brown complexion, a round face, and big brown eyes, and a tuft of curly dark brown hair on the top of his head towards the front, and the rest of his hair trimmed low on the sides and back of his head. He wore modest, non-descriptive beige and brown clothes, and the shoes or sandals on his feet. And no shoes and sandals on his feet. He ran towards the dog and the boat of interest. Several little frogs jumped off into the bushes and river to get out of the way. He approached the boat quickly and was tall enough to peer inside. To his surprise, there was a young man laying in the tankwar, unsuspicious and covered with unconscious and covered with tree branches. The boy had no idea if the man was asleep or dead. He gasped, "Oh, look, Mamush, look, it's a man." His voice lowered in the whisper. "You found a man sleeping in the boat." The boy picked up the wolf pup to show him what he saw. Mamush finally saw the man in the boat and growled and sniffed some more. It's a young man who was not moving. He was he had bruises on his face, a cut on his left eyebrow, and his body covered with leaves and tree branches. But he appeared too still to be alive in a deep sleep. It was Mekonnen, the warrior from Aksum, who passed out in the tankwar the night before after running for miles for his life from the battalion and the hellhounds. I wonder where he's from, Mamush. Looks like he's hurt. There's blood and bruises on his face, said the boy with certain. Then, with a burst of sudden revelation, he called out to the man lying there. Salam Exeya. Hello, my lord. Are you awake? Are you hurt? The man in the boat let out a long groan as he tried to respond, but could not. Igzy, can you hear me? Uh, are you well? The boy called out again, only to get more groans from Mekonnen, who, who was too dehydrated from running for hours and succumbed to the bites and mark wounds. The bite marks wounds on his arm from the hound that caused some blood loss and possibly the beginning of an infection. Okay, I'll stop there. Thank you. I haven't read my book in a while, so that's why I was hesitating because I haven't read it in a while. That's interesting. Yes. Somebody getting? Okay, you want to sign it? Yes, sir. Okay.